I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Back. Upset. Not happy. Canada got eliminated from the Olympics. There goes my prediction of them winning a bronze medal. Not happy about that. I really thought that worst case scenario, they could have at least done that. But I'm a firm believer that, unfortunately, this Canadian team that we sent to the Olympics, my only issue with them is that they were undersized, and that's what ended up hurting them playing against France. I didn't get an opportunity to see the game. I saw the highlights, and I saw that they battled. They did everything they possibly could. But the size really came in to be a very, very major league factor for them, and they couldn't get over that hump. I'm letting you guys know right here, right now, the team that you guys got to look out for, of the final four teams that are left is Germany. Everybody wants to gift wrap the gold medal for the United States of America, but I'm letting you guys know directly. The team to look out for is Germany. I believe that the Germans could definitely upset LeBron James, Steph Curry, and the rest of those guys out there. Yeah. Not to mention they're defending world champions. So they're not even getting the proper respect they rightfully deserve. Yeah, these are the best players in the NBA that you guys have assembled to make this US team. Absolutely. But the best team that's playing best team basketball right now is Germany. US is doing a lot of individual things great. That's getting him over the hump. You know, Kevin Durant coming out, scoring all kind of different points. Anthony Edwards taking over certain games. It's a lot of individual stuff that's really at the forefront of what US is doing. Germany is winning all their games by playing team concept basketball. And for me, I find it virtually impossible for an individual to beat a team. That's why, back in the day when Michael Jordan was great, as great as he was, scoring 63 points against Michael Jordan and stuff like that, it looked great to the eyes, but he wasn't winning any games. Why? Because it was one man trying to beat an entire team. When Michael Jordan finally started to be able to use his teammates to take less of the pressure off of him, we saw what happened. Larry Bird was an individual I got all the credit when he's on the Boston Celtics. But he didn't beat anybody by himself. He had the Robert Parishes and the Kevin McHale's of the world as his running mates to take that pressure off of him. So one man cannot beat a team. That's always been my philosophy. That's always been my belief. And there's nothing that's going to change that. For individuals out there that want to ask the question, why is it that I have such a hard time with LeBron James acquiring other players in order for him to do what he has to do? The reason why I have a problem, and it's very, very simple. I'm going to break it down for you. The reason why I have such a major league issue with LeBron James is because everybody else I know went through the process of building what they had to build. For whatever reason, LeBron James doesn't want to be bothered with the building process. He wants the here and now. He wants the shortcuts to the success. That's the reason why I have my personal issues. When you get to watch certain players go through the grind, the bumps and the bruises to get to where they have to get to, you respect that a hell of a lot more. Versus somebody that just comes in place and just starts picking leaves from different trees so he himself could have a beautiful forest. It's not the way it's supposed to be done. Why do you think an individual like a Kevin Durant gets as much disrespect as he does get? Because nobody respected his process. Fine, he's a champion and he's an outstanding player. He's probably one of the greatest players to ever lace up the shoes. But yet still, he's probably going to go down as a player that's going to get zero amount of respect. Why? Because people think that he took a shortcut in order to acquire his championships. That's all. Plain and simple. You were part of a team like OKC. That was a building process. You guys were one game away from beating the Golden State Warriors that ended up winning the championship that year. But what did you end up doing? You ended up leaving OKC to join the team that you couldn't beat. So that's the reason why people have a hard time respecting your process. That's it. And how could you blame, especially any of us from the older generation that watch people do it the proper way, that watch people go through the grind to get to where they had to get to? Do you know that, believe it or not, people from my generation will probably have a lot more respect for an individual like a White Chocolate and Chris Webber than they do for LeBron James? Reason being, because of the mere fact of the matter that they went through the grind to try and get over that hump. They too were also, if I'm not mistaken, minutes away from beating the Lakers. And if you ask anybody back then who the better of the team, and we're talking about Kobe and Shaq, prime Kobe and Shaq. But yet still, White Chocolate and Chris Webber were giving them the business that year in the playoffs. And then there was some kind of, I mean, I was still young at the time, but something happened that just did not look right. And that game took a turn with minutes left in that game. No, I think I'm probably getting that confused, though. I'm thinking about the Portland Trailblazers, if I'm not mistaken. When the Portland Trailblazers were minutes away from beating the Los Angeles Lakers and going to the finals. And then, with minutes left on the clock and some phantom calls and stuff like that, all of a sudden, the Lakers beat the Portland Trailblazers and went on and won the championship that year. But people that respected Portland back then, people that respected Sacramento back then. Why? Because these guys were trying to put something together to get over that hump. They weren't trying to just like do patchwork and find certain players to just add on in order to get that championship. They were willing to go through the bumps and bruises, the grind, to do what they had to do in order to acquire it. So for me, I'm always gonna have a lot more respect for teams that did it that way. Always. But people, do not be surprised if Germany wins the gold medal. That's all I got to say to you guys. Do not be surprised. And if it actually does happen, I would like to see some people come back up here on my chat and say, E-Dub, you were right. You were absolutely correct. Now, if the American team ends up beating Germany, I will come back up on my channel and utter these words out of my mouth. I will be the first one to say Nah, forget about it. I can't do that. Can't do that. I can't be a hypocrite that way. I'm sorry. I'm all for the humor. I'm all for the fun, but I cannot be a hypocrite that way. I can't be one to come out and say LeBron James is the greatest player that I've ever seen. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I can't even, like, even to say it in a joking sense has a bad taste in my mouth. I'm telling you. Be a hypocrite and a liar for us to say that there's not some sort of greatness to LeBron James. I'd be a hypocrite and a liar if I was to say that. He is one of the greatest players to have played the game. He is one of the greatest players to have played this game. But he is far from the greatest player to have played this game. I'm going to say it again. LeBron James is one of the greatest players to ever lace up running shoes and play this game. But he is far from the greatest player. Period. I stand on that, and I'm not taking back nothing where that's concerned. By the way, if there's anybody up here, anybody listening, don't be shy, man. Hit the like button. Share the video if you feel it's shareable. And subscribe to this channel. Help this channel grow. My goal for this week is to get to at least 200 subscribers. Yeah, it's a new channel, but hey, I'm enjoying the process. I don't care how long it takes me to build this channel. I mean, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Why? Because I enjoy what I do. I enjoy being able to just give my own personal opinion. My opinion may differ from your opinion, but it's okay. That's okay. That's part of life. Do I think I'm right all the time? Absolutely not. Because if I did think I was right all the time, I'd think I was perfect. And there's only one perfect being as far as I'm concerned. And I'm far from that. So I'm okay with being wrong. I'll still go to bed, tuck myself in, and have a good night's sleep. And wake up feeling fresh tomorrow, if it's God's will. So when I come out with a prediction, and my prediction happens to be wrong, and I have trolls that come up here and want to try and belittle me because I was wrong, you're wasting every ounce of your time. Every single ounce of your time you're wasting, because I'm okay with being wrong. I'm going to be wrong again. Period. And I'll be okay with being wrong at that point in time also. It's that simple. That's why these things are called predictions. They're guesses. Now, for all you individuals that have something to say when somebody's wrong, show me your sheet. Show me how accurate you've been at making choices, making guesses, or whatever the case may be. How correct you are all the time you've made a guess or a prediction. What is your record? 100% right? I didn't think so. So everything that you have to tell me when one of my predictions is wrong, do me a favor. Look in the mirror and use those same words on yourself, Mr. Imperfect or Mrs. Imperfect. So, I've come out on a limb and I've said that I believe Germany is going to win the gold medal. In basketball, men's basketball, I believe that Germany is going to upset the United States of America and win the gold medal. I know it's a pretty big ask. But I believe if the game is played the way the game should be played, where the game won't be tampered with, where there won't be any team getting the benefit of the whistle, The better team is Germany. And because of the mere fact of the matter that they're underestimated and they're not getting the proper respect that they rightfully deserve, there's a very good possibility they're going to be playing with that chip on their shoulder. So it's not going to be no cakewalk for the U.S. team to win the gold medal. It's not going to be a cakewalk. They're really going to have to go out there and earn it. We're gonna have to really see exactly how great they are. But you see, the X factor that they have that could get them over that hump is Kevin Durant. Because when you have the Slim Reaper on your team, I mean, you're in every single game you play. Every single game that you play, you have a fighting chance. Because the only thing that I don't understand is why it is that the Slim Reaper is an individual that shines when he's with other stars. Why is it that this Slim Reaper can't shine by himself? That's the only issue I have with him. I mean, his game is outstanding. His game is unstoppable. But yet still, he only looks absolutely amazing when he's surrounded by other stars. But to ask him to be a star and develop other players under him, it seems virtually impossible. But I'm realizing that seems to be a strength that not every single superstar has. It seems to be a quality that either you have it or you don't. And unfortunately, a lot of the superstars, especially the superstars of today, they don't have that X factor. They're not able to make others around them better. They basically need other players to know exactly what they have to do and execute it with no direction whatsoever. So as a player, that's my number one issue with Kevin Durant. But to watch him play, especially when he's in his element, when he's playing the way we know Kevin Durant to play, it's a beautiful thing to watch. It's a very, very beautiful. I mean, you know, for him to step into a shot, it's a beautiful thing to watch. Now, your boy King James got hurt. Apparently, I think he got an elbow and he got some stitches. He had to go get some stitches and stuff like that. You know what? He is 40 years of age, and there's no reason why he should be playing as many minutes as he's playing in the Olympics, period. He is 40 years of age, and there's no reason why he should be playing as many minutes as he's playing in the Olympics. I personally believe that, you know, that time should be given to some of those younger players, like the Halliburtons of the world, even though I don't think Halliburton should be there. But if he's there, he should be playing. Ant-Man of the world, I think that those guys should be sucking up a lot of the time, especially due to the fact of the matter that apparently, allegedly, the U.S. team had something like, I don't know, maybe a 20-point lead. Why do you have the KDs of the world, the LeBron James of the world, sucking up minutes at that particular point in time? Why? I don't understand that. Now, if you want to ask me what my personal opinion is on it, I believe that I believe, honestly speaking, because a lot of people are blaming Steve Kerr. But I honestly believe. Hey, what's up, buddy? Hold on one second. So sorry, my people. So sorry, so sorry, so sorry. Had to finish up a little bit of had to give one of my coworkers, some information and stuff like that. So, but like I said before, I'm gonna say it again, and and listen, like I told you guys, when it actually does happen, or if it actually does happen, I need to see you guys come back up on my page and just type in it. You were right. Germany, US, finals for the gold medal, winners, Germany. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how I feel about it. Winners are going to be the Germans. We got to wait another 4 years to see if Canada is going to make any noise. But you know what? All that to say, Canada's on its way up, though. I mean, compared to where they used to be, I mean, they were a team that everybody beat in the Olympics. Everybody. Because, like nobody really wanted, like, if we had any NBA players from Canada that was actually playing in the NBA, they didn't actually want to come back and play for Team Canada. The majority of the top players that we had, they weren't really interested in participating in the program that Canada had. But, they finally turned the corner. A little bit after Toronto Raptors won the championship, as a matter of fact. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Nick Nurse was the head coach for Team Canada. It was around that time that we finally were able to start recruiting some decent talent. It was around that time that we were finally able to start putting a decent product on the court to where we are right now. So, as well as we're playing, it's still a building process. I believe in 4 years from now, the Canadian team is going to be even that much better than it was this year. Honestly speaking, I believe you know what? It wouldn't have made that much of a never mind. Even if we did have Wiggins, it wouldn't have made that much of a never mind because we were still undersized. Zach Edey. Was he on our Canadian team? And if he was on a Canadian team, why wasn't he used a little bit more? I understand he's a rookie and all that kind of stuff, but means nothing. He has height. He would have been decent around the rim to block shots. So please tell me that he just was not on the team. I don't want anybody out there to let me know that Zach Edey was on that team and he was sitting on our bench. Because if that's the case, we deserve exactly what happened to us. We deserve to get beaten the way in which we got beaten, and we deserve to be on a plane ride back home. So if there's anybody out there in the chat, possibly let me know. Was Zach Edey part of Team Canada this year? Because that would have definitely helped our problem with the size, don't you think? Wow. France has all the size in the world, but I believe that the next game, that's it for France. That's it. My personal opinion. I don't see them going any further than the next round. I'm not sure exactly what the matchup is, though. Oh, yes. That means France is playing Germany. So that's the reason why I believe the Germans are going to annihilate France. Oh, he wasn't on the team. Thank you, Q. Thank you. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense because Canada's biggest problem was we were undersized. And if we're undersized and you have a man like Zach Edey sitting on the bench, then the Team Canada coach would have to be fired on the spot. Period. Period. he should not even be allowed to coach wheelchair basketball if that was the case. I'm just saying. But we'll see how that team looks in 4 years from now, because in 4 years I expect Zach Edey to be part of that squad. By then, SGA, that's four more years of experience SGA is gonna have. Wow. Should be interesting. Maybe at that particular point in time we'll be able to go to the Olympics and win the bronze medal that we should have been leaving this Olympics with, if I may say so myself. Share, like, and subscribe, people. Help this channel grow. Don't be shy. Help this channel grow. Like I said, by the end of this week, I'm looking to have 200 subscribers. Can't do it without you guys, though. Can't do, and hey, especially if my prediction with Germany is right, man, I want 250 subscribers at that particular point in time. Yeah. Yeah, I want to get rewarded for my correct predictions. Just like how you guys like to come up here and let me know when I'm wrong. Come up here and let me feel what it feels like to be right. Apparently, they're saying that LeBron James is probably going to be MVP of the Olympic tournament. Hey, if you've got a panel full of Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles judging, then yeah, it's quite possible. But anybody that has sight, as far as I'm concerned, so right now on the American team, yes, Q, we know Q, but I'm telling you, the MVP of the U.S. team is Kevin Durant, the Slim Reaper. And if you're honest with yourself, you know what I'm talking is facts. Who played? Are we talking about LeBron James, sir? Is it LeBron James that played 16 minutes yesterday and had 12 and 9? Okay. Who did they play? They played Brazil. Who was the main player on Brazil? Could you tell me? Because I have no idea. In other words, United States was supposed to do what they did to Brazil. Period. As a matter of fact, they should have beat them soundly. There was a few possessions in that game where they were having a little bit of a hard time, wouldn't you say? Yes, I was talking about him sucking up minutes. 16 minutes, but didn't he play? He was one of the players that played one of the most minutes on that team, though, yesterday, with 16 minutes. Q, you better pray. You better pray that these guys win the gold medal. I'm predicting Germany's going to beat them. And let me tell you something. If Germany actually does beat them, there's no place in the world that's going to be safe for you, my friend. I'm letting you know that. There's no place in the world that's going to be safe for you. If you hide under your bed, I'm going to come there and find you and let you know. You understand what I'm saying? All right. As long as we're on the same page. Now, if the United States ends up winning the gold medal, that's a different story. It's to be expected. Everybody expects them to win. Everybody expects it. So that's not going to be a shocker. The shocker will be if Germany beats them. Yeah, that's where the shocker will be, my friend. Okay, he's the king. He's your king. He will never be my king, but numbers don't lie. Yes, he scored that many points. Numbers do not lie. But let's not forget the other number that doesn't lie. It took him 20 years to do it. For the love of God. 20 years to do it. We're just gonna ignore that factor, right? We're gonna ignore the fact of the matter that it took Michael Jordan less to do more. We're gonna ignore that, right? You're right, though. He is the king. He's the GOAT. Just saying that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Q, I'm gonna give you what I gotta give you. He is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. He is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. But I'm gonna say it again. He is far from the greatest player to play the game. Period. So Q, I got one more question for you, buddy. Did he? You might be right. You might be right. I'm gonna get back to you on that. I'm not really sure exactly how many seasons Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played, but I'll have to take your word for it because you're pretty decent with your facts. So if you say he played 21 seasons, you're missing one key point though. The majority of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's career, there was no 3 points. If they let Carmelo Anthony play and they didn't mess around with Carmelo Anthony, he would have done that. Yes, sir. Another player. Okay, fine. He didn't get the opportunity to do it. But you and I both know that if they didn't mess around with Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James would still be chasing Carmelo Anthony right now for numbers. Because, in my opinion, Carmelo Anthony has a better package. And when I say package, he has a better all-around game than LeBron James. Although, if you talk to the regular media or talk to you, yes, we are saying if, but let's be honest about it. You're an individual that knows about basketball, Q. You know, if Carmelo Anthony had played, if they just let him play and they didn't mess around with him during the season, and the main reason why they messed around with him was because of the fact of the matter that they did not want anybody to be anywhere around the ranks of LeBron James where the numbers were concerned. That's the reason why they started to mess with Carmelo Anthony, in my humble opinion. Different story for a different day. But if they had allowed Carmelo Anthony to just play the game, I personally believe LeBron James would be chasing Carmelo Anthony right now in terms of numbers. Yes, indeed. Because we know that, like prime LeBron James, the two kryptonites that prime LeBron James had was Dwayne Wade and Carmelo Anthony. Those were the two guys that in the earlier stages, I'm talking about the first time when he was in Cleveland, where they were trying to crown him the king. Those were the two guys that were fighting against that message that everybody was trying to spread. They took it personal. Anytime they played against LeBron, they made sure they gave him the business. Why do you think it is that LeBron James hightailed and went to join Dwayne Wade out in Miami? Because he pulled a Kevin Durant. Can't beat him, join him. In my humble opinion. I'm just saying. Because those guys did not respect all the hype that everybody was trying to surround around LeBron James. Carmelo Anthony, he took everything personal. Is that what you think? That he was tired of pulling scrubs to the finals? Yeah, one way of looking at it. Because yeah, the first LeBron James on the Cleveland Cavaliers, he was the one doing the majority of the legwork. Yeah. As a matter of fact, believe it or not, that was the best of LeBron James, as far as I'm concerned. The best of LeBron James was the Cleveland teams that he was bringing to the finals. None of those players that I mentioned could have done what he did in Cleveland. Now, hypothetically speaking, if we take young LeBron James off of the Cleveland team and replace him with a Carmelo Anthony, you don't think that they would have done the same thing? He played better. Carmelo Anthony played better defense than LeBron James. So if you're saying that Carmelo Anthony was a defensive liability, what does that make your king? Come on, Q. Now you're disappointing me. So you're telling me LeBron James played better defense than Carmelo Anthony? Absolutely not. You're telling me LeBron James is a better defensive player than Carmelo Anthony? Yo, I gotta put this on my poll. Yeah, we need. Yeah. I gotta put this on a poll. Yeah. Now, oh no. We gotta put this on a poll, Q. I'm curious of what people have to say about that. Anybody out there that's listening? Anybody out there that's listening? Do me a favor. Type 1 in the chat if you think LeBron James was a better defensive player than Carmelo Anthony. Type 2 in the chat if you believe Carmelo Anthony was a better defensive player than LeBron James. I'm letting you know right now. My answer is 2 all day long. All day long. LeBron James reminds me of you know when you're just starting to put a building together and it's just there? You know, you have bricks, you have dirt, you have all that kind of stuff around it or whatever the case. That's what LeBron James reminds me of on defense. He's just somebody that's just standing there in one place, period. That's it. The only difference with a younger version of LeBron James is that he was more athletic, so he was able to do the chase down blocks. He was able to do all that kind of stuff, which made it look like he was playing outstanding defense. But realistically speaking, LeBron James is probably the biggest liability on defense, and he always has been. When you have an individual like what's that short dude, Pat Beverly, that has to literally be pushing you into where you're supposed to be on the defensive scheme, and you're the superstar, there's something wrong with that. Not to mention, I don't believe LeBron James has ever made all defensive team. Just saying. I mean, I'm going to go back in and do my research, but I'm almost 100% positive LeBron James has never made an all defensive team. So, if you want to talk about a defensive liability there, Q, just look at your king. Just look at your king, because that's an individual that no matter what the case may be, especially now on the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to get back to you on that, but I'm almost positive I don't think there's a zero beside Carmelo's name we're being on a defensive team. I'm going to double check though. You might be right. You might very well be right. But even if Melo never made a defensive team, if I had a choice to take either one of those teams on the defensive side of the ball, it's Melo all day. You forgot the battles when Melo was bodying up Kobe Bryant? You forgot those battles, bro? Come on, Q. Come on, Q. I know you remember those times. Prime Kobe Bryant. Back in the day when Carmelo Anthony was out there in Denver. You remember? Who was the man bodying up Kobe Bryant? Taking the defense to Kobe Bryant. It wasn't LeBron James. Kobe Bryant ate LeBron James for breakfast any chance he got. Maybe an all-star game, maybe a regular season game, maybe a playoff game. Kobe Bryant, when he saw LeBron James in front of him, his eyes got bright. So you cannot tell me that LeBron James plays better defense than Carmelo Anthony. And I know deep down inside you know that. Because you know much more about ball. I know you know that, bruh. Six. Done with you, bro. I'm done with you. You're going crazy now, man. I understand, though. You know what? I know. Like I said, you were the man that brought LeBron James to me. You were the one that introduced him to me. You were the one that made me really, really enjoy this guy when he first came into the league. I would have not known anything about LeBron James if it wasn't for you. So I give you that credit. Yes, you do have an eye for talent. But I believe you're being blinded now for your love for LeBron James, in my humble opinion. I believe you're being blinded right now for your love of LeBron James. I mean, I love Michael Jordan. And if there was something that Michael Jordan was not really 100% strong at, I would share it with you. Unfortunately, where the game of basketball is concerned, there wasn't very much that Michael Jordan wasn't strong at. So, it is what it is, bruh. It is what it is. Yes, sir. Oh man, I'm telling you, you're number one on my list. If this American team does not win the gold medal, you are number one on my list, because we do know. He may have averaged 28 against them, but I guarantee you it was not an easy 28. I guarantee you. Just go back and look at the highlights, man. Just go back and look at the highlights. He would average them. They saw each other a hell of a lot more. So, of course, he would have to average. His average would be something like that because he is Kobe Bryant. But the question I'm asking you right now is, your eyes will not lie to you. Just look it up, of some of the battles of the two of them that went back and forth. Kobe Bryant wasn't always getting the upper hand on Carmelo Anthony. But if you look at the battles, the one-on-one battles between LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, the majority of the time, Kobe Bryant got the upper hand on LeBron James. The majority of the time. Now you're giving me the average. Okay, you just give me the average of what Kobe was averaging against Carmelo Anthony. Do me a favor. Pull up the average of what Kobe Bryant was averaging against your king. I'm kind of curious. Don't doctor the numbers down. Come with real talk. Check that out and let me know, bro. Check that out and let me know. Because like I said, without even numbers, I just remember some of the battles between Kobe Bryant and Carmelo Anthony. Where Carmelo Anthony would really D him up. 25, is that what you're saying? 27. There you go. You're doctoring numbers, though. I think you're trying to be nice to your king. I think you're doctoring numbers. You just want to keep it a little lower and mellow, so that's the reason. 1 point lower. No problem. No problem. Which, in hindsight, would basically mean that Carmelo Anthony played better defense. The reason why I'm saying that, listen to my logic behind this. Carmelo Anthony was playing in the West at that particular point in time. He's playing for Denver. That means he saw Kobe Bryant a hell of a lot more than your king saw him, who was playing in the Eastern Conference at that time. So, for Kobe Bryant to only be averaging 28 points against Carmelo Anthony that he's seeing more regularly, that just simply means that Carmelo Anthony played better defense on Kobe Bryant than your so-called king. Because how many times would you say on average would the Eastern Conference team play against the Lakers? Maybe twice? During the regular. And Kobe Bryant averaged 27 points against your king in only 2 games? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Q. Think about it. There's a little bit of logic to my theory that I'm telling you right now. If you only average 28 points, scoring points against Carmelo Anthony that he saw more regularly in the Western Conference throughout that season, it's safe to say minimum 4 times, but I believe maybe they probably matched up a little bit more than that, but minimum 4 times because they're in the Western Conference. Versus the Eastern Conference teams that you would get the Lakers that would go to Cleveland once, and you would get Cleveland that would go over to the Lakers once for that season. Who played better defense on him? I could be totally crazy with my thought process, but logically speaking, this is a 22 game average. On both sides. And when you say 22 game average, it's anyways, you probably have to explain that because I don't understand that part. This is a 22 game average. Okay. Kobe Bryant and that's what you average that off of? Kobe Bryant and LeBron James, they played 22 times, and that was their average? And was that the exact same thing that you got for the Carmelo Anthony? Did you base it on the same thing, like 22 games? We'll get to the bottom of this. Because like I said, I'm also going to do a poll. I'm going to do a poll to see what people think. Maybe I'm just blinded. Maybe my dislike for your so-called king is that deep that I just don't see anything positive that he does. Hey, so let's get some people in here that will, maybe change my mindset on that. Because I'm just basing it on just what I see. Like not even based on numbers or anything like that, just on the games. And like I said, one of the games that I remember the most was when Carmelo Anthony was D'ing up Kobe Bryant. And Kobe Bryant was doing everything, trying to muscle him, trying to do everything. And they were going back and forth. And the reason why I liked that game was because of the simple fact that you see 39 games for Carmelo. Yeah, he played more games, so his name is Kobe Bryant. So him dropping 49 does not surprise me none at all. Did he do it all the time? Absolutely not. Against Carmelo? Absolutely not. Okay, since you're taking such deep shots at my boy Carmelo Anthony, let's talk about your king. Let's talk about your king in the All-Star game where Kobe Bryant was owning him. Blocking his shots, D'ing him up, Jane in his face. Let's talk about your king. Yeah. And I'm not really being a hater, but honestly speaking, if I had a choice between Carmelo Anthony and LeBron, give me Carmelo Anthony all day. All day. Yeah, we're talking about All-Stars. We're talking about the All-Star game because that's where everybody's watching, and that's the one game where Kobe Bryant took it directly to LeBron James, and LeBron James had no answer. Yes? That's when everybody wanted to give LeBron James that whole crown. He's the king, the whole bit. And Kobe was saying, no, 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 not yet, not now. I'm still the greatest thing out here. You remember that, right? Okay. So logically speaking, if Kobe was able to do that, and we do say that Kobe patterned a lot of his game off of Michael Jordan, what would Michael Jordan have done to your king? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Logically speaking, think about what I'm saying, bro. You're absolutely right. Only Bron could make me talk. No, the later stages of Kobe, I was okay with. The younger version of Kobe, I always loved his game. I just didn't like the individual. But you're absolutely correct. LeBron James is one person that could make me see the positive that Kobe had to offer. You're absolutely correct about that. Only a king could bring people together like that. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. Only a king. You're right. You're right. I ain't got nothing to say to you, bro. You're absolutely correct. You know, cause I mean, I know I have my own personal opinion on your so-called king, and I have my own facts to back up my opinion. But at the end of the day, if you want to base it on his longevity, if you want to base it upon his productivity in the amount of time that he's been playing, as much as I would love to, I can't take anything away from that. You're absolutely correct. He deserves to be acknowledged in some sort of greatness for that, at least. I'll give you that. But how do I think he would have fared in the 90s? I think he might have been an individual that probably would have been coming off the bench in the 90s. I don't think he would have been a dominant force in the 90s, in my humble opinion. Okay, if you're talking about the older version, I'd give the edge to Bron. Yeah, absolutely. Older Michael Jordan versus an older LeBron James, I'd give it to LeBron James all day long. But let's go back to the prime of both. Let's go back to the prime of both. And I'm not even willing to go back to the prime before Jordan even started winning. Jordan was an individual that was able to go and give Larry Bird 63 friggin' points on his top. The prime first LeBron James, he wasn't doing that to nobody. So you're absolutely correct. The older version, if we were to put 37-year-old Michael Jordan and match him up one-on-one against a 38-year-old LeBron James, I'd have to give LeBron James that edge. I would have to give LeBron James that edge. But a prime Michael Jordan against a prime LeBron James? You'd put LeBron James to bed. Period. With no apologies. Yeah, you heard me. He would put LeBron James to bed with no apologies whatsoever, bro. He fried bigger beasts than LeBron James back in the 90s. So Come on now. Come on now. Oh, Q, don't worry, I'm gonna make a believer out of you. If it's the last thing I do, I'm gonna make a believer out of you, bro. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna make a believer out of you. That's my main objective in life. I need to make a believer out of you. That being said, people, that being said, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the four teams that are the four teams that are left in the Olympics are going to be playing tomorrow, Thursday. And I believe after tomorrow, the two teams that are going to be left is going to be Germany and United States playing for the gold medal. And you heard it here first. I predict Germany to win that gold medal. I predict. Q, your king? That's right. His legacy will be destroyed if he does not win this gold medal. That being said, I want you guys to have yourself a blessed day. Enjoy the rest of the day. Today's Wednesday. Whatever you do, find out what Q's drinking and stay the hell away from it. Double Innocence with your boy E-Dub is out. Have yourself a blessed day, peeps.